First, the top news headlines. Police commando shoots, injured a person at Kiamgai Takhok Makha, vehicle smashed. Congress delegation led by AICC election observer Jairam Ramesh complains to CEO on threats against INC candidates, supporters in different assembly constituencies. After days of simmering tensions, Russian President Vladimir Putin declares war on Ukraine. Hello and a very good evening. You're watching the Mami TV English News Bulletin. I'm ALBINA RIAMEI. One police commando of Thoubal District Police shot a man at Kiamgai Takhok Makha last night, injuring him and smashed the vehicle of the injured man's cousin, who is a personnel of Imphal East Narcotics Police. According to police reports, the injured man has been identified as Mohammad Sahabuddin, age 44 of Kiamgai Takhok Makha. The incident took place around 8:30 last night when a group of people damaged a white Kia car while Moshin and Sahabuddin were returning home from office. They had an argument over the matter. Later, the group came to their house and shot Sahabuddin at his left thigh. The shooter has been identified as Commando of Thoubal District Police, Rakibuddin, son of Ayajuddin of Kiamgai Muslim Awang Lekai. The injured person was rushed to hospital with the help of a team of Irilbung Police Station. The team recovered an empty cartridge of 9mm from the site of the incident. Police reportedly pick up some persons from Kiamgai Awang Lekai for verification in connection with the crime. A case has been registered for further investigation. A team of delegation led by election observer of AICC Jairam Ramesh submitted a memorandum to Chief Electoral Officer CEO of Manipur on the issue of threat against INC candidates and workers in different assembly constituencies in the hill areas and stopping them from organizing election-related meetings. Addressing the media after submitting the memorandum, President of Nagaland Pradesh Congress Committee K. Theri blamed the state government for failing to protect law and order of the state, since supporters of underground organizations have been threatening Congress candidates and their workers in hill areas. While campaigning for the upcoming general elections in Saitu, Saikot, Henglep and Churachandpur assembly constituencies, he witnessed the intimidation by the UG supporters to the candidates and the workers. Hence, they submitted the memorandum for a free and fair election. The CEO assured to take up necessary action on the matter, Theri said. The world's worst fears came true today when Russian President Vladimir Putin declared war on Ukraine after days of simmering tensions. As Putin appeared for a televised address, his speech was laced with historical grievances and anger. The responsibility for the possible continuation of the bloodshed will lie entirely on the conscience of Ukraine's ruling regime, Putin said while announcing a military operation. Further, Putin warned other countries that any attempt to interfere with the Russian action would lead to consequences they have never seen. Moments after his announcement, large explosions were heard in different parts of Ukraine. The Ukraine representative at an emergency United Nations meeting appealed to all to stop the war. Meanwhile, US President Joe Biden condemned Putin's order of invasion and said he would be coordinating with NATO allies to respond to Russia's aggression. On the other hand, 5 Russian planes and 1 helicopter have been shot down in Ukraine's Luhansk region, the country's military claimed. Luhansk is one of the separatist regions in Ukraine that was recognized as independent by Russia earlier this week. Further, Russia's defense ministry claimed Ukrainian air defenses have been neutralized. In yet another election-related violence, 15 persons were injured in Lilong Assembly constituency, while vehicles and houses were also damaged. The injured persons were admitted to Noor Hospital, Lilong, for treatment. After meeting the injured person, independent candidate of the AC, Mohammad Irshad Hussain, said during a meeting near the CHC at Lilong Haureibi Makhalekai, some people wearing BJP cap started removing and tearing his posters and flags. They also pelted stones at the gathering. Later, they reported the attack to the superintendent of Thoubal District Police. The meeting completed after a team of Thoubal Police and Commando dispersed the attackers. However, a bigger mob began to attack his supporters after the security personnel left. In the stone pelting, 9 persons, including the candidate's driver, were injured and his vehicle was also damaged. This incident has made it clear that BJP uses violence to snatch power and rule the people. This is second such attack by the BJP targeted against him and his supporters, Irshad said.
Yam sathi soke aigi gari thubaire aigi agents election agents yauri aigi friends sing so asopan yam sathi na nange makoi gi attempt to kill tawna bofonna basa asi yam laibak thibani Lilong Kendra Sidana Manipur Masapun taking Sagi Tabakasa BJP is Hassan Pai Kangu Sina Akoi head Togal Pasayam level. Even any Maramdi Karina, there is the evidence. The people who were attacking me by wearing BJP cap as well as muffler. Makoi Aduna, that is the symbol of the BJP.
Why and Tasani Kanguna Lung Tajapaki show evening, why and Tasani Kanguna Yum Tajapaki me so upon my own langue.
For the general election to the 12th Manipur Legislative Assembly 2022, 3 special observers of Election Commission of India have arrived in the state. Additional Chief Electoral Officer N. Praveen has notified that candidates, election agents and electors can communicate and consult with the special observers for any election-related issues. The 3 observers are Special General Observer Pravir Krishna with Special Police Observers Arun Kumar and Rajesh Tuteja. They will be put up at the Hotel Classic Grande at Chingmairong. Candidates, election agents and electors can contact them at 6033-905-121, 6033-905-122 and 6033-905-123 respectively. Different organizations of Haingang Assembly constituency today organize a rally giving message on free and fair election for the upcoming general election. Haingang United Clubs Organization, Huko, Haingang Apunban Naha Chaukat Thaurang Loop, Naharol Silam Sintha Multipurpose Cooperative Society, Youth for Change and Imagi Sintha Chaukat Loop Development Organization jointly organized the rally. The public rally took off from Haingang Kangjaibung ground and ended at Haingang Awang Lekai. Speaking on the occasion, Secretary of Huko, Tondang, said many election-related violent incidents have occurred in other constituencies. Youths of the AC have a big responsibility to ensure that such incidents do not occur in Haingang AC. He expressed confidence that today's rally will prevent election-related incidents in the AC and facilitate a free and fair election. Tondang sought people's support for a peaceful election.
Aikoi ngasigumba rally asi sumaina lam da su chatlakanda huji yengu bota atop kendra khatna saina ba nung thana ba asi ana yawba singse akoi hangang da tawda ba gidamakta akoi naharol sina ngasigi thorum ase akoi sinjabani aduna akoi lairiba lup singi maroina masigi akoi mayam support tawri haiduna akoi thorum ase chatna ba ngasi tawjabani ngasi akoi lajari hangang makhala kai akoi gi hangang kangjibong hariba mafam asidagi chatlaga akoi kilometer Ahumga Makai, Hangang Awang Lakaida Hariba, Kogi, Nasigi, Reliasi, Mafamaduda, Lamtung Duini, and the Masina, Hangang the Natana, Hangang Kenda, Manipur, Missesama, Yusina, Sumina, Honoruba Totana, Pulakanda, Afava Langama, Afava Sasalama, Adumba, Matik Saba, leader to the port PZ, Haidana Aduki campaigning a series.
As part of Community Development Program, College of Social Work, Maitram Imphal West, 3rd semester, Master of Social Work, MSW, students of Community Development Specialization today conducted one-day awareness program on substance use disorder, SUD, treatment and impact of drug abuses on the society. The awareness program was held at Kuman Healing, the Addiction and Rehabilitation Center, Mayang Imphal, Charoibu. Chief Coach of Mayai Lambi Sports Academy, Angom Sujit, Principal of College of Social Work, Dr. Salam Romeo Bala, and Associate Professor of the College, Dr. Loitongbam Sujata, attended the program as President, Chief Guest, and Guest of Honor. During the technical session, they discussed on two topics, SUD treatment and impact of drug abuses to the society. Now we have a short commercial break. Stay tuned for more updates.
Hello, Ichema. Ichema yung laibigadra. Ay maru paisa lau lake taujaba.
Adong gise wrong number oibiba male somna tawbirai sidi Border Helpline 1950 ne.
Yeah. Hai ma. So ne dudia. Ai di Ichema bimola ne na tawrini. Oh adong gi headline hai se karamba mateng oiduino.
Sigi helpline number sida border service amasung election ga mari lainaba akupa marol sing phangbiba yagan.
Hai ma. Oh, ai suna handagi khalamini. Ai se smai taw lohong ba se tha ahum mari phare ba. Ado ai gi ming se kamaina ai gi nupa mayungi polling station do ondoino se ai khalamini ba. Adudi kamaina tawgone adugi matang du de.
Yani ai harake.
Voter list ming nano bachanba ming thiba asoba semdokpa laifam hongba amadi atopa voter service amasung election ga mari leinaba akupa marol gi damak voter helpline number 1950 da ngasimak phone to biro.
Ado kainom ta hangja hoge. Kangan maru kadi yawning draw.
So far, under the nationwide COVID-19 vaccination drive, has exceeded 176.52 crore across the country. Ukraine envoy to India Igor Polikha sought Prime Minister Narendra Modi's intervention amid the Russian invasion. Urging Prime Minister Modi to take steps to solve the crisis, Igor Polikha said India has a special relationship with Russia and New Delhi can play a more active role in controlling the situation. Ukrainian Ambassador Igor Polikha urged Prime Minister Narendra Modi to immediately contact Russian President Vladimir Putin. Ukraine envoy to India Igor Polikha said they are getting fresh information about casualties attacking only military facilities, but they have suffered civilian casualties. He also added that in the case of aggression of a totalitarian regime against a democratic state, India should fully assume its global role, and Modi is one of the most powerful and respected leaders in the world. The Indian government is keeping a close tab on the global crude supply chain, which may see disruptions due to the Russian-Ukraine war, sources said. Sources said that the oil ministry has apprised the Prime Minister's office and Finance Ministry about the current global oil crisis. Petroleum Minister Hardeep Singh Puri had a detailed discussion with the PMO and Finance Ministry about the losses Indian oil companies face due to the crisis. During the discussion, the Finance Ministry officials said that they would keep a tab on the current excise level. On Thursday, Russian President Vladimir Putin announced a military operation in Ukraine. The announcement of the war shot the prices of a barrel of oil above $100 on Brent index. Notably, Russia is one of the world's top producers of crude oil, and any Western sanction against Russia will stiffen the global supply. For India, the development assumes significance as the country is import-dependent to fulfill its crude oil needs. Indirectly, the rise in crude oil prices can escalate domestic prices, thereby triggering inflation. Before we end the bulletin, let's look at the top news headlines once again. Police commando shoots, injures a person at Kiamgai Takhok Maka, vehicle smashed. Congress delegation led by AICC election observer Jairam Ramesh complains to CEO on threats against INC candidates, supporters in different assembly constituencies. After days of simmering tensions, Russian President Vladimir Putin declares war on Ukraine. With that, it's a wrap for this evening news bulletin. Thank you for joining us. Have a great evening.